Hello, welcome to 1995batman.com. Today we're looking at this Street Biker Robin with launching grappling hooks and battle staff. This is obviously Kenner's line. This is one of the ones I have in packaging. I'm going to open it up and have a look at it. First things first, let's just have a look at this packaging, because one of the things I always loved about the Kenner Batman Forever line is that they had amazing detailed kind of artwork like this, with kind of like the actor's kind of likeness. Really good likeness here, very buff, as is the figure, very buff Chris O'Donnell here. I don't know whether he was that ripped at all, but kind of the face is great. They even got the kind of like earring there. But yeah, obviously this is based on the idea that kind of Robin is a bit of a biker. He's seen on a bike, something that would continue into Batman and Robin, or he races with Barbara Wilson. As you can see here, this is kind of like the details of how the figure kind of fits together. He wears this kind of like weird kind of thing kind of either side. As you can see, and I pointed this out before, the head is completely different, and obviously based before Chris O'Donnell was cast, before he had the short hair. So yeah, he's got a bandana, but it's kind of like, kind of got very kind of floopy 90s hair. Anyway, let's have a look at the figure and we'll see what we've got. Okay, so in terms of what we've got the Robin figure there. We've got this kind of like, I don't even know, kind of like satchel thing that goes over him that fires the missiles. We've got this deadly looking battle staff, it's called, which kind of makes sense because obviously the Tim Drake Robin had a staff in the 90s, so I guess they, were like, let's give him a staff. But they've made it very, very deadly. Let's just go in. Yes, that's a knife on one end, and a bunch of chains with a padlock on the other. So yeah, that's looking a bit deadly there, Kenner. But that's kind of what Kenner did. And then there's obviously these missiles, and this two missiles attached by string to a I don't even know what it is, just like a pole, really. I don't know if this is meant to be like a bit of like a bowler kind of thing, kind of like it knocks over the person as it goes by, I guess. That's the only thing I can really think. And obviously the back of the packaging showed that kind of Robin could hang off this. So maybe it's a kind of like grappling thing, I don't know. Anyway, just before I go any further, shout out to Niall McGowan of Batminute, who confessed when I was on the show that this was his favourite figure of the entire toy line. This is a really unusual one, and I have some theories about it, but obviously it is Dick Grayson, really. It's not Robin, because he's not, apart from the R on his chest, he's not really wearing anything else. And I can kind of see where Kenner are coming from with this. Obviously there's the bit in the movie before he gets the Alfred Robin suit, he just wears his old costume, and they were thinking along that lines of kind of Robin just being of Dick Grayson, sorry, just being a vigilante, kind of without the costume yet. So they've gone this route, and obviously he was a biker in the movie as well. So I can kind of see they've sort of combined the two things, but it's a bit of a stretch, really, because he was not dressed anything like this in the movie. He's wearing kind of black boots. He's wearing kind of jeans, I guess. I think he's wearing what looks like a kind of gold belt. He's wearing these kind of gloves with kind of almost like, I don't know, not boxing gloves, are they? He's got these big muscly arms, very kind of muscly. You can see kind of like a vein popping out there, which is kind of par for the course for Kenner in the mid-90s. I don't know if you remember their Power of the Force line that they did for Star Wars, where they made Luke Skywalker very kind of big and buff and big muscly arms. And then he's wearing this kind of brown jacket and a red shirt with the R symbol on the front. And then there's kind of like a stitched kind of, I don't know if you can see that just as I move it into the light, there's kind of like a stitched kind of like triangular R on the back. Now this kind of, and obviously he's got the yellow bandana as well. No mask, which is, which leads me to think he's not Robin. But anyway, this jacket, for the life of me, and the long black boots, for the life of me, I was trying to think, where have I seen this before? I've seen something like this, and the kind of arms poking out, and then I was like, oh my god, the Warriors. Like, have you seen the Walter Hill movie, The Warriors, great movie. The Warriors are dressed kind of like this, kind of sleeveless, kind of their logo on the back kind of thing. I think maybe one of them even wears a bandana. I can't really remember now. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's a weird kind of interpretation of Dick Grayson and Robin in the movie. Let's figure out how all this stuff's going to fit. So obviously this goes over him, and kind of one thing goes on the back, one thing goes on the front. It doesn't really fit that great. I don't know if it's meant to go that way. No, it's definitely meant to go that way because there's kind of like a bit of a thing there. Right. So that goes on there. And then the missile, one missile goes into here, and the other missile goes into here. Now, here's the thing. Only one of them has a firing mechanism. I don't know if that's like... See, when I looked at the packaging, I figured kind of like they both would fire sort of simultaneously, but no, it looks like just one of them fires. So that's just... Okay, that's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know quite what they were thinking there, whether they wanted to do two of these but it was too expensive so they just did a kind of like cheap one. I don't know. But anyway, these are kind of cool. I mean, obviously they can hang off stuff, you can kind of hang them up, and yeah, I can kind of see how they're sort of a grappling kind of thing. I just think it's a missed opportunity not to have two firing things so you can have them like knocking over people. And then obviously we've got the staff. Now there's two like grips here. Yeah, I think that's how they're meant to grip. Obviously, because Kenner's figures never had the arms out like that. They always had them to one side. They've had to put these kind of like handles on the staff, so that goes there and that goes there. And obviously, when he does hold it, he is going to be a bit top heavy. But yeah, there he is with his deadly looking staff, ready to shiv someone, seemingly. That is your Street Biker Robin. Look, I remember seeing a lot of these on the shelves, and I remember thinking, this is a weird figure. I don't know whether this is an essential purchase at all. I think they had a nice idea here, but I don't think it succeeds. You know, it's a weird interpretation of something that wasn't really in the movie, and they've sort of just botched a bit of the missile system. Like, why would you just have one? That makes no sense. But anyway, that is the Street Biker Robin. I don't recommend this, if I'm honest, unless you're getting like the whole line. It's a weird one. It's nothing like the movie, and yeah, it's a strange one. Just leave it on the shelf. It's a shelf warmer. Okay, so just one final thing. Obviously, I said like I had some theories about this. My theory with this is that this was meant to be a Two-Face henchman figure. And here's my thinking. For the '89 movie, they made a Bob the Goon. For Batman Returns, they made Penguin Commandos. For Batman and Robin, they made Frosty the Mr. Freeze henchman. But they didn't make any henchmen for Batman Forever. And my theory is this was meant to be, or started off life, as a mould for a Two-Face henchman, and then they got cold feet and were like, I don't know whether it's going to sell, and repurposed it for a Robin figure instead. And my thinking with this is, if you look closely at the neck, you'll notice that the Robin head is much smaller than the neck that it's been put on. The neck sticks out like almost like a millimetre, half a millimetre maybe, but it doesn't fit. Also, these arms are way too muscular. These arms remind me of the big muscular henchmen from Two-Face, as do the gloves, as do the boots and the trousers and everything. That reminds me a lot of Two-Face's henchmen. So that's my theory on the figure, that Kenner started off trying to make a Two-Face henchman and then got cold feet and turned it into a Robin figure. That's my theory. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Kenner. If you worked at Kenner and know something different, please tell me, because I'd love to put this mystery to rest as to why they made this figure.